Ladies and gentlemen, what do I say? What do I say? Can you even see me on this thing? Can you even see me on this? What the hell is this? I got a weird camera here. Are you even seeing me? Can you see me on this? Wait a minute. What's going on here? Can you see me? What the? How do you do me a favor? Turn. My camera is blurred. I see nothing. Can you go to my web? No, this is the strangest. No, it doesn't matter. Wait a minute. This is all blurred. Hang on a minute. Let me see if we can do something here. Let me try something different here. Let me try something different. Let me try something here. Is this any? No, it's not any better. Wait a minute. Hold it. Oh my God. I can't believe this. Oh, for the love of God. No, it's not pointed in the wrong direction. No, it's not it. That's not it. No, that's not it. Hang on a minute. All right, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna have to. Oh no. I had all my spots picked. God doggone it. Hang on a minute. Hang on. No, Sean Penfold. That didn't take long. I told you I was gonna come on after the rally. All righty. Let me see if I can do something here. Hang on. Let me try something here. Don't move. Don't move. Let me see if this thing works. Hang on a minute. Doggone it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna try it now. Let me see if this makes any sense. Just a minute. Hang on a minute. Why just talk amongst yourselves. This is radio, TV history. This is fantastic. I love this. Wait a minute. Let me try something different here. Yeah, is that working? Yeah, it's working. There we go. Yeah, it's working. Let me try it again. Let me try this. Okay, we'll give this a shot. Oh my God, we'll give it a shot. Let's see. Shut that down. Let me see if this one works. Start the clip. There we go. Hey! Hey! No, you don't understand it. You don't understand this work. Do me a favor. Stop trying to tell me you don't know how to work a phone, use the camera, using the cell phone. If you take you people think you know everything. Why don't you do the cash? Look, I don't care. All I know is it's over. First of all, 1 to 10, what was today? Ladies and gentlemen, what was it? From 1 to 10, what was it? What was it? Tell me right now, 1 to 10. From what, all day? When did this? We know people who've been there all day. What was it? What do you think there was? What was the effect? Negligible? It was a 10. It was a 12. It was absolutely the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I don't want to hear these stupid little nitpicking, niggling, trifling about, well, shut up. Do you know what this was? They were there. I mean, it was incredible. Even Crypto Domini says, that's a lot of fakers back there, Mr. Speaker. Very good, CD. It was incredible. When people remember Woodstock, they say, it was the greatest day, and here's the greatest day. They say, well, the porta potties were, some people had, there was in a lot of respects, it was supposed to be, people did buy tickets for it, and then it was people did die. You missed the point. It was an event. It's like Sermon on the Mount. Did you see it? Well, I was there, but Jesus was late. What? It's just, it was an event. Mrs. L and I were tooling about in the Yugo. It's a stretch today. And we're thinking, oh my God, 2 stories, 5th Avenue. From Trump Tower, 57th to 5th, all the way up, wall to wall. People were red hats in New York. This is supposed to be This is the one where we had less than 10% turnout. They vote for de Blasio and Eric Adams, and they're liberals, and they're going crazy. Here's another one for you. The other day on a bus, on a city crosstown bus or whatever it was, we know a woman who said they were on the bus, and then right in front of Trump Tower, lo and behold, in front, in a car, was Trump. And everybody in the bus went batshit crazy, ran to the sides, and almost like, I don't want to pull a Hank Johnson here, but they were just crazed. New York, not look at that right. No, he's huge. We're gonna win this. This story, we were, and by the way, hats off to Right Side Broadcasting. You are the best. I'm telling you, I love it for reasons. It's so raw. They're on 8th Avenue. It was cold today. It's 50-something degrees. Right now it's 55, but it was chilly today. And they were on the street. And even the announcers would say, that's right, Kerry, that's right, for cold and flu season. And they got their phones and they're reading their spots, gold. And I loved it. And they were so, I don't want to say they were unpolished, because that's demeaning. They were real. They didn't have that phony Betty Furness, ask your parents, that kind of fake, Bess Meyerson kind of cornball, Ed Koch's girlfriend. In any event, I thought it was superb. We can talk. You want to go through nitpicky stuff? No. What I do things differently? It doesn't even matter. Did you see the garden? Oh my God. This is the Stones. There was no extra, room. Here is the distinction. Listen to Uncle Lenny. This is the distinction. Let me boil it down. Let me explain it to you very, very simply. It's the passion in the voters. It's like nothing I ever saw before. The passion in the voters. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. When you see people, black, white, everybody I know said, can you get a ticket? You got a ticket? You got a ticket? You want a ticket? You want a ticket? You got a ticket? You got a ticket? No, I don't have a ticket. You want a ticket? You got a ticket? Everybody wanted to be there. Now, there are two types of people who want to be in the, in the world. First, there was the people in the, quote, VIP section. That is the last place I would ever want to be. If I wanted to be there, I would want to be among the crowd, to feel the energy there, not to hang around with VIPs. That's all I'm going to say. I'm different that way. Look at this. Crypto says, cherishing this with you, Uncle Lenny. It was incredible. Let's go through this first. The people, they love him. To go through, I could have just watched. I loved hour upon hour of Right Side Broadcasting. By the way, Fox News tonight, did they cover this? No. Oh, they slipped in and Trump, man. They put on that stupid, and let me tell you something. If I see Arthel Neville for a microsecond, I go into convulsions. Why is she on Fox News. And same thing for that. What's that dingleberry named Cavuto? They hate either Trump or whatever. Why are they there? Why are they there? Why do they pick that Harold Brown Jr.? This is why I have no time for these people. Whatever their mojo was. Harold Ford. What did I say? Harold Brown. Well, Harold Brown too. You probably don't know. Harold Ford is so goddamn boring. He's so boring. All these people, I don't need any of them. All I wanted was to see these great people. Where are you from? I'm from Staten Island. They were cool. Staten Island is, whoa, man. You know, that's where it's where, Toad Hill, and it's where they filmed The Godfather. Mrs. A and I, Mrs. A, who's Mrs. A? Mrs. L. I'm so tired, honey. I'm sorry, forgive me. Mrs. L and I one time went around there just to see where they filmed The Godfather, and I don't know who people were saying like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" It was, I'm just. Oh, I got the hell out of there. Went by Big Paulie's house, Toad Hill, and these big mansion. Anyway, I forgot that. But like on these tiny little lots, there's no room. It's like taking this huge man and put him like, there's no yard. It's just the house and the wall. Anyway, but to see people and the colors and the memorabilia. We have friends of ours who were there. Friends who they were taking pictures and sending to us. It's the most incredible thing in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Combs, Dark MAGA USA. We'll go through this. Who was tonight, and thank you, sir, who were some of your favorites? Who do you think really made it? I have, Mrs. Allen and I were saying, and I don't want to go through critiques. Critiques are a whole nother thing. I think I would have been exquisite. Straight from my cutting room thing. Oh, and I would have done my song. God gave my life. Oh no. Anyway, who was the best? Alina did great. Elon, Dr. Phil killed it. Who else? Who do you think? Who is the most important? Who is the most important? Who do you think was the most? Who really did it, do you think? Oh, I would have been terrific. But who would have been great? Who would have been terrific? I thought going through, but want to remember, I thought I loved, just for me, Stephen Miller was phenomenal. Absolutely 100. I got to tell you this one story. Did you see the feller who did the painting? He did the painting, and he talks like this, and no effing way, and you with the flag. I never really heard of him, but he painted a picture in like during a song. It was really something. I thought it was very funny. Before that, there was a local talk radio show by the name of Sid Rosenberg, a nice fellow who I don't know where it was F-bomb. It was one of the most profane. The comedian did a couple of jokes about Puerto Rico. I would leave. I would not be through any Boricua areas after that one. But little minor. But Sid Rosenberg, I came here, and you were Hillary Clinton, you dummy. It was like, whoa. So I was thinking, what would a signer look like? Like a deaf signer. Every time he goes, and you can F you, and I'm not sure. I know this is. Do you know that in Amislan, this is drinking like water, but this, the finger goes up, this is alcohol. Little things. What would, if you can imagine, whenever they got a signer, and I didn't see a signer, but it's the garden. Who could see the signer? Anyway, I guess you have a special monitor, but during the course of sometimes the signer is very emotive. You never see these ones. Well, what would that be during Sid's thing? No effing way, and she's got to go like this, and and match her face to the contortions of that was one for the ages. I thought to myself, oh, this is not going to go well. An F placement sometimes can be delightful. It can either be, but then sometimes it sounds like, well, that was not his finest hour. That's all I'm saying. Stephen Miller, I thought was fantastic. Tulsi shows the comportment, the countenance, the style, the gravitas. She was excellent. I've got some stuff for you. Dr. Phil, I thought was very good. I thought there were no clinkers. There were no clinkers. Soul says, this is just too big to rig. We are all uniting. Absolutely. Can you imagine if they say, no, she pulled up? No way. No way. JD Vance, fantastic. Vivek, superb. That's JV. Elon is just giddy. He is so real. He's like a little kid. A very smart, a very successful little kid, but just so interesting. Bobby Kennedy Jr. But before we do this, in no particular order, first of all, thank you for being with us. Carol says, not a fan of Rudy's speech. Rudy Giuliani in New York is God. And you know what? Remember something. I want you to think of all of those filthy, horrible, nasty, disgusting, lefty, horrible, terrible, woke, those people who say these terrible things that call you and everybody else Nazis and lie about Trump. I want you to say, and you know what? Too bad. Rudy can say whatever he wants. Rudy, go ahead. You got my permission. After what we've had to endure, you go ahead, my friend. Did you happen to see Jake Tapper get his ass handed to him by Mr. Vance? Not tonight, but this is something because I want to show you some things which are very, very important in no particular order. Watch this, buckaroo.
A basic question about network integrity. You guys talked about the Russia hoax nonstop.
The FBI was investigating it. The FBI was investigating it, and we recovered them.
And so you took the words of unnamed FBI agents and put them on your network as if they were the gospel truth. You did it again and again. A viewer of your network would have believed that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin conspired in 2016.
No.
That was totally and preposterously false.
No.
Well, that's
what you just said
why.
Is false. We covered an FBI investigation. I don't know why you want to talk about the FBI investigation.
You covered it in a way that gave credence to anonymous sources' accusations. You did it yourself. Your network did it, Jake. But again, can we talk about the issues that Americans care most about?
I'm talking about things that Donald Trump has said.
Yes.
If you have an issue with whether or not he's talking about the economy enough, that's between you and your running mate. I'm talking about things he has said this week.
Every single rally that he does, he talks about how he wants to unleash American energy so we can lower the cost of groceries. He talks about the fact that housing has become unaffordable. He talks about the wide open border, Jake. Kamala Harris and her allies, it's interesting. Kamala Harris and her media allies, and I would put CNN in this category. You guys,
they wouldn't.
You guys seem to care.
I'll tell you that. They wouldn't.
Well, they should watch your network more because you guys seem to care more about Donald Trump's past than the future of the American people. We're running this campaign on making the American dream.
I'm specifically asking about how Donald Trump is going to be president in the future should he win, and then we're being told we're
going to pursue economic policies that lower the
Sorry about that. I got so upset. I got so upset with that. God, I hate that. Jake Tapper, I just despise these people. Don't lie to me. All Jake Tapper has to do is say, listen, I work for CNN. They told me to go out there and hurt your guy because we're Democrats, because I've got to push this bullshit artist by the name of Kamala. You know it and I know it. She's ridiculous. And other times we call her retarded, but we can't do that. But if I could, I would, because she is. And that's what I've got to do. So let me tell you something, Vance. Don't think you're going to come up here and kind of, paint me into the corner with your incredible cross-examination, because of course it is. Don't you understand something? I'm almost 60 years old, and I'm at this godforsaken place. I'm on CNN, Vance, and if anything doesn't work out, I'm through. I'm on the balls of my ass, and this is it. So if they tell me to go after your guy, I'm going to go after your guy. And if you want integrity, go to Mars, because it doesn't exist here. You know better than that. I'm not here to be fair. I'm not here to be a journalist. I'm here to get your guy. And the more I get him, the more I'm rewarded, and the more I keep my job. I'm not good at this, Vance. I'm not good at this. You want me to be what? Honest? And what? They shit can me? Forget it. You got a job. You're smart. I'm not. Did I make that very clear? I think. Did I make that very clear? Because these people are planning something. And this may seem like I'm backing into this, but folks, I tell you something. When I tell you something, I believe it. We are getting to the end of the month. Preparewithlionel.com. They're talking about stuff. They're getting desperate and they're getting mean. And if I ran the place, I would say, run that longshoreman to that dock strike now. Run it now. Because, and this is important, run it now because of the very simple fact that we've got nothing. We want chaos. Get BLM on the phone, get Antifa on the phone. Let's do something. It's going to happen. More something. We're not going to go out without a fight. And that's why you had better get it through your head. And I love you, but listen to Uncle Lenny. You're going to need to store up emergency food and provisions. I'm not kidding you. I'm not exaggerating. This isn't theoretical. I'm not asking you to wear a tinfoil hat. It's actually aluminum. I'm not talking about anything like, I'm not talking about divining rods or, unicorn detectors or something. I'm not talking about the Loch Ness Monster. I'm talking about something very, very real. Preparewithlionel.com. Hurry up now. At the end, all of the specials are locked in now. I don't know what happens next. They don't tell me. They don't say, oh, here's next month. All I know is people are signing up and loading up. I'm warning you. Preparewithlionel.com. Secure your 3-month emergency food kit, or just go through it and say, we don't have anything for water. How do we purify big quantities of water? What if we can't get to the store? What if we preparewithlionel.com? All right. I'm dead serious. I cannot be any more serious. Now, I lost all of my beautiful pre-programmed stuff, but that's okay. I'm going to bring them back up again. And I'm going to do it in a way, and I don't know what the hell we're going to see. So I'm going to show you this one. Let me see what this one is. I have no idea what it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Senior Advisor for President Donald J. Trump, Stephen Miller.
I'm going to watch a second of this. First of all, this music, I got to AC/DC, a lot of country. When you see Stephen Miller, do you think, Angus and, no. But anyway, look at this. He's waving. Hi, how are you? See, Stephen Miller is a guy who's a killer. Stephen Miller, by the way, let me tell you something. Stephen Miller, because he's bald, is going to look like this until the end, until he dies. They're going to say, this guy never changes. He's frozen in time. He is a killer. He is one of the best speakers. He is so good. He has no emotion. He has this flat affect. He is a perfect villain in my movie. He is fantastic. Let me see if I can stop this. We're going to get around this. Let me get rid of this damn music. It's music. You know how the music is. Okay, let's see if he's there. Let's see. Is he there?
To the United States of America, people watching in all 50 states, we are here tonight with a message for you. In 9 days, your rescue is coming. In 9 days, your salvation is at hand. In 9 days, Donald J. Trump is going to go back to the White House.
Now, let me tell you something. First of all, that is the way to do it. That's the entire message. It's like think evangelical and another thing. And it's about you. And this is what you've been waiting for. Think preacher. And our time has come, and the frustrations are over, and it's time to go back to rejoice in the recognition, in the redemption, in the resurrection, in the apotheosis, in the heuristics of the you got it. You know what I'm saying? Good.
We stand here today at a crossroads in the history of this nation, in the history of our civilization. This is a choice between betrayal and renewal, between self-destruction and salvation, between the failure of America or the triumph of America. I want you to think for a minute about the decades of abuse that has been heaped upon the good people of this nation.
I love
their
this.
Jobs looted and stolen from them,
yes.
and shipped to Mexico, Asia, and foreign countries.
Say it.
The lives of their loved ones ripped away from them by illegal aliens, criminal gangs, and thugs who don't belong in this country.
Good.
A political system
that
punishes hard-working citizens, oppresses them at every turn, takes away their right to free speech, the right to political expression, the right to fundamental safety in their own country. One man dared to step forward 9 years ago and say, enough, no more, America gets its future back. And what happened next? What happened after he stepped down that escalator 9 years ago? The system he was fighting tried to do everything in its power to stop him, to take away your voice, to take away your vote, to take away your right to have your own country. They lied, they defamed, they smeared, one witch hunt after another, one hoax after another, one betrayal after another, lie after lie, slander after slander. Libel after libel, lawsuit after lawsuit. They tried to jail him. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to imprison him. And they even tried to take his life with not one, but 2 assassination attempts. And let me ask you, when his life was on the line, did he falter? Did he waver? Did he yield? Did he surrender? Did he hesitate? Did he back down? Did he give one single solitary inch? Or did he stand up? Strong and proud and resilient, the warrior that he is, and raise his fist into the air and shout on behalf of all of you, fight, fight, fight. And what was he fighting for? He was fighting for your children, for your wives, your husbands, everyone that you love and know in the world. The right to live in a country where criminal gangs cannot just cross our border and rape and murder with impunity. Think about how corrupt and hateful and evil a system is that allows gangs to come into this country and rape and murder little girls. I'm not just saying that. You've read the stories. It happens every day. You read one of these heartbreaking headlines. Who's going to stand up for our daughters?
Yes.
Who's going to stand up for the girls of America, the women of America, the families of America? Who's going to stand up and say, the cartels are gone, the criminal migrants are gone, the gangs are gone, America is for Americans and Americans only?
That's it.
One man. And that man, ladies and gentlemen, that man took a bullet for you. He took a bullet for democracy. And all we are asking in return is for 9 days, for 9 short, precious days. You have to vote, vote, vote. Vote for freedom, vote for liberty, vote for sovereignty, vote for your children, vote for your families, vote for the right of free speech, the right to the Second Amendment, vote for the right to have a secure sovereign border and for the right to have a government that puts American citizens ahead of illegal aliens. With your votes, you can smash this broken establishment. With your votes, you can end the corruption and graft.
Perfect.
And with your votes, you can deliver the future to your children that they so dearly deserve. So I'll end with this thought. Each and every one of you has been loyal to your country. You
Good.
have loved your country. You followed the rules. You paid your taxes. You did everything right. And the system just keeps beating you down, and beating you down.
Personalizing it.
And I say to you, are you going to let that system win? Are you going to surrender? Or are you going to follow the example of President Donald J. Trump and fight to the finish and save this nation, save this country, save this civilization, and save this glorious republic? Thank you, New York. God bless you. God bless New York. And God bless America.
That was perfect. That was perfect. And to look at him, you can look at him and think, well, he's going to be. Now, remember, this is, I hate to say it, this is after Sid Rosenberg. F you and F Hillary. F and you, F. People, oh my God, covering up kids' faces. Don't listen to that man, honey. And then from that to, this was perfect. It was stylistically perfect. You end with this. And there's nothing worse than somebody who ends on this thing and then keeps going. And that's why God bless America. And that reminds me. Years ago, I said, no. He was fantastic. He is incredible. He is definitely, he was a part of this. I love this. CR, thank you so much. CR gifted 5 Lionel Nation memberships. Bless your heart. Thank you so much. Johnny Masses Bass says, the only person on too long, the CEO of Cantor. You know what? We can do this. You're right. What he went through, 600 Lubavitch, he's wonderful. He goes on these shows and destroys them in the name of Trump. So I give him a pass. 680, I think, of his workers died. They're on the 110th floor. He happened to go to some kind of thing one morning for his kids and missed dying himself. Oh, he's a mensch. They set up all of these programs for the kids and the families. Cantor Fitzgerald. Now, Johnny, you're right, though. I'm just saying, but believe me, he's okay. I can mention a few, but I don't want to do that. It's like, again, it's like ask tomorrow. People will say, it's like describing Woodstock. Richie Havens went on a little, Richie Havens was on too long. Richie Havens, Carlos Santana was high. Richie Havens says, I got one song. They said, Richie, play. He came up with the song Freedom. There's no song Freedom. He played Freedom for like 50 minutes. He goes, Freedom. Richie, can you give us a lyric? Freedom. And he plays with his thumb like that. Freedom. 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 He goes, Freedom, please. He goes, I never need any. It's the best I can do. Nobody talks about that. So, yeah, you're right. There's always something, but it was great. Get him, Mr. Miller. You know it's true. I love the man. Varick says Stephen Miller's speech was the best. Absolutely. 100%. And we can talk about, I don't want to do that. What about this? Donnie Jr. was there, and they kept changing the order. They said that the doors open at 5, or anyway, they changed the times. I don't know. They were reporting them incorrectly. Where was Kimberly Guilfoyle? She wasn't there. Lara was there. She wasn't there. She's the fiance. Whoa. Kimberly Guilfoyle, be careful. Oh boy. Hell hath no fury. Now, let's go back. This was Stephen Miller. And I don't even know what I have my clips here, but let's see what this one was, because I lost them all just in there. Oh, this is fantastic. This was sheer. Let me tell you something. I would not want Tucker in a courtroom with me. He would not be good second chairing. You don't want him to do that. However, this isn't a courtroom. He did something which was the point. If I met everybody before, I would say, ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to give a speech. We are not going to repeat each other unless you have a new way. If you get up and say, "I want he took a bullet to the head and said, fight, fight, fight," when everybody repeats a story, unless you have a different take to it, it kind of demeans it. It liquidates it dilutes, dare I say, the particular thing. So in the meantime, just here's my point. Try something different. Energize, excite the people who are listening. And that is what Tucker did. From the moment he was the happiest guy in the world.
I saw the Grateful Dead in this arena in 1987. I was seated right there. How weird. It's such an honor to be here, and it's wild. Just another day following Bobby Kennedy Jr. at a Donald Trump rally in Madison Square Garden. I mean, what? It's totally normal. Liz Cheney's out there with Kamala Harris. And there's Bobby Kennedy calling to protect women's sports at a Trump rally. It's a realignment. It's unbelievable. And the fact that it's here is even sweeter.
Yes.
Imagine if you're, and just pause for one moment. Imagine you're Donald Trump. You're from New York City. You become famous in New York City. You make your fortune in New York City. And all of a sudden, the leadership of New York City decides they're going to destroy you because they don't like your politics. And so yeah, boo. Imagine if that were you, though. And they try and take everything that you have. They try and put you in prison. They try and put your children.
Not on a monitor, not on a prompter. Everything is from the heart. He is speaking absolutely just perfectly, exponentially, exquisitely. And I understand. People do all these things about, and here we go. Let's talk about his laugh. Let's talk about his laugh. You want to talk about the event? No, I want to talk about the laugh. Like Amadeus, right? I've said that. Yeah, yeah. You want to talk about the laugh anymore? Anybody want to talk about the laugh? Anybody find the laugh out of everything that's going on? Do you think the laugh is what we're focusing on? Because if you want to, let me know. We can do that. If that's your thing, if that's your entire take, it's like going to hear the beer hall putsch, hearing Hitler says, he's a little loud. Listen to what he's saying. I know, but is he that loud? Forget the volume. Listen to what he's saying. This is where we are today. Let's talk about his laugh. This demeans what we just saw history today. And somebody says, that Julius Caesar, a little weird. Why? Because we are children. Because we don't know how to critically think. We just want to say something. That's all. Because it's important, though, because I want to teach you critical
children
thinking.
In prison. If that happened to you, how often do you think you'd be going back to New York City? How about never? And yet he's here. It's like getting thrown out of a bar. And you think to yourself, well, all my friends are in the bar.
Yeah.
And you approach the door and there's the bouncer like, you're not allowed in here. But from behind the bouncer, you hear the cheers of your friend, come on in! And the bouncer hangs his head in shame. He's embarrassed that he's working for the man trying to keep the most popular person out of the bar. And that's Donald Trump back in the city that produced him with no embarrassment at all, in a room full of his friends. The stones that takes, the bravery that takes is incredible. Donald Trump's going to win.
Yes. See that?
He's going to win.
I got to tell you something. If you want to talk about stylistic, that should have been the message to the people who were there for 12, 24, 15 hours. You have to say, I'm going to now give you this thing to make you excited. And then I want the walls of the garden to absolutely oh my God, move. I want everything to move. I want everything to vibrate. You got what I'm saying? I want everyone. Look at this. Dee Dee says Tulsi Gabbard was, oh my God, is she a robot? Did you honestly think that Tulsi Gabbard? Now, first of all, again, let me ask you this. Listen, and I know we're jumping around, but this is important. Uncle Lenny's going to tell you something. You've got to listen to what they're saying. Abraham Lincoln, they said, had a high, pitched, kind of not emotive in the least. Did you mean to tell me, seriously, that it is the tone of voice or a laugh? I'm just saying, this is important. This is why we have to take people back to school in history and say, I want you to listen to what these people, not how they're saying.
I know that that's true. Why is Donald Trump going to win? The people he's about to defeat have no idea. And they're panicked. They have no idea why people like Donald Trump.
Yes.
And their first theory was, well, Donald Trump is evil, so half the country's evil also. And that's one of the reasons they spent the last 4 years trying to destroy the country, because they're mad at its voters for liking Donald Trump.
Yeah.
How much easier would it have been just to pause for 20 minutes and ask yourself honestly in some silent place, why do people like Donald Trump? And if they had been honest enough to ask themselves that question, they would have come up with the two main reasons, and here's what they are. The first reason that people like Donald Trump is because he likes them. That's why. And it's real. Affection is something you can't fake. I don't care how many times Kamala Harris would tell me she loves me, I don't believe her. I saw her kiss her husband with a mask on. A mask on. That's her version of love. It's fake. It's not real. They spent 10 years telling you Trump is a hater. Do you feel that on him? No, you don't. Because it's not there. I've spent a lot of time with Trump. And there's not one moment I've ever been with him off camera where he's spending his time grousing about people he hates. Ever. He's talking about the people and the country he loves in his private time. Trust me. And people know, in a country that has been taken over by a leadership class that actually despises them and their values and their history and their culture and their customs, really hates them to the point that it's trying to replace them, they know someone who actually has affection for them, and that's Donald Trump. And it's requited. It's requited. They know. When he goes to McDonald's and serves fries, like, he's not faking that at all. That's why that worked. Democratic media consultants are like, how is that working? Because it's real. That's why. And the second reason that people love Trump, and I put myself in this category, it's why I'm here today, is because he's liberated us in the deepest and truest sense. And the liberation he has brought to us is the liberation from the obligation to tell lies. Donald Trump has made it possible for the rest of us to tell the truth about the world around us. And that's the single most liberating thing you can do for people.
Listen.
If you want to enslave people, if you want to degrade them, force them to tell lies. And they have. They forced us to lie about everything at gunpoint, effectively.
This is far too, this was superb at so many levels, but here's what I'm trying to do. I'm not here to merely talk about how great people's speeches were. The purpose of this was the rally. Insidious says, I saw a red mirage headline in CNN today. Linda Haslett, so proud to be a New Yorker. MSG was on fire. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want you to listen to this. This is very, very important. The purpose of the rally was not for each individual. He's not my boyfriend. I don't like Tucker. I don't know him. I mean, I don't like him. I don't listen. I think we've interviewed a couple of years ago, but I don't. He's not it. He is a pawn that helps me win the race for all of us. If he's good, good. If he's good, good. When people talk about, well, you know, Tulsi was kind of monotone. You know, his laugh. Then we get Bobby Kennedy, who is brilliant. I think he's got some emotional problem, but it's not, but that's not about him. And he sounds like Katharine Hepburn, though I think he's sounding a little bit better. So when you take all this stuff and you say, you know, let me listen to what he's saying, you realize, oh my God. They don't break into voice changes. They don't break into these faux recitations of voices, these canticles of BS. They don't do that. They're actually real. But the purpose, I'm saying it again, listen to Uncle Lenny. I would tell everybody backstage, this is not about you. You're selling the client to the jury. It's not about you. I know you like this, and I know, and it was very, very good. She was very, very good. But Alina Habba came out dancing and pointing. It was about her. But that's okay. It wasn't that big of a deal. People liked it. But I would say to her afterwards, don't you ever do that again. This is not about you. Don't ever think this is about you. Don't do any dancing unless you're dancing out of happiness. It's not about you. It's not about you. And if you're hot, nobody. There was a man, Crypto Domini, bless your heart, Liberation Day, The Cure, 2024, thank you. There was a man, did you see this fellow who went to school, to Queen's Day School, and he told the story, and he told it before, of Fred Trump, President Trump's father, who upon hearing that this man's father died, and that the parents maybe had to pull, I think, this gentleman and his sibling out of this private school, there's a knock on the door, and it's Fred Trump. And Fred Trump says, I'm on the board of overseers or whatever, and your son and daughter are not going to leave school. We've paid for it out of our own pocket. That's the kind of stuff Kamala and those rat bastards wouldn't do if their life depended on it. There is not a soul in these people. There's not and despite all of her manic, negritudinous paeans to everything but, Stepin Fetchit or Racha. I mean, these black, fake, we'll get to this in a moment. You can't, that's the stuff that's so riveting. Now, the man's voice, wow, he had a very thick Queen's accent, and he might have said a few words incorrectly. That's not the point. It's the feeling. Think of Woodstock. Woodstock was not a particular band. Woodstock was not Jimi Hendrix doing the Star Spangled Banner, national anthem. It's not about that. It's about a collective. And I want some of you, not all of you, but some of you to do something. And I'm saying this with all due respect. I want you to really start to think. Really think before you talk. And then ask yourself, what am I saying here? Am I adding something, or am I just being heard? That's all. Mower Man, our dear friend, says, Saturday with Uncle Lenny at the cutting room, hot dogs at Rudy's, and Trump at MSG. What a weekend in New York City, and I missed all of it. That's it. I like that. What it said, wow, hot dogs at Rudy's. Wow. That's it. What is happening is unprecedented. I am feeling hope for the first time in years. It's true. It's absolutely true. That is the feeling moment. That's the thing I'm trying to tell you. It's this clear delineation. And by the way, each people aren't going to run in West Virginia or some I should say, some battleground state because somebody gave a great speech. It's not what I'm saying. I want you to think about the collective. I'm going to give you one more analogy and I'm going to stop. When you like a movie, I like The Godfather. It's my favorite movie. I think it's the greatest movie ever. Maybe my time, maybe my generation, whatever it was. Now, why? I don't know. Was it the sound? I don't know. The music? I don't know. The lighting? Could be. The acting? Yeah. What was it? I don't know. Do I like Godfather 1 versus Godfather 2? I like 1 more, but 2 was different. But I like 1. Why? I don't know. It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. That's what I want. It's the feeling. And listen to what I'm saying. You could have scrapped every speech. And you could have said, ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry to announce there is no rally. We just wanted to see how early you would show up and what you would talk about in the line. That's all we wanted to hear. That's it. Just Rhonda says, sorry I'm late. I'm still reveling in the great rally at MSG. By the way, I made some member emojis for your channel if you're interested, Uncle Lenny. Excellent. Thank you. Assunta Madonni. Thank you. Grazie mille. Now let's go back to some others, okay? Let's go back. Okay. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Now, this next one, I don't know what it is, but here it is. Okay. Again, let's get rid of this music because I don't know if it's special. You know how it is. Just look at this. You're looking right at the frontispiece of the garden. The garden's in the back. You see in the back on the right? See in the back on the right? That's the garden. And in the front, really 2 Penn Plaza. That's where our WABC studios used to be. Where Rush and I would get there in the morning, and there'd be all these not bums, people. They would open up the cab door, and they would be in the front. It was a different time. This is also kind of like the the Garmin district, sort of. But anyway, if you look at the top screen, that little structure in the back is kind of curved. That's the garden. Now, watch this. It was cold, too. There they were. Oh, look at this. All these folks with their hats. This is what'll scare people. In New York. And there's no end. There's no end. There's no end. And this is just to get in. You can get a ticket, but it's first come, first serve. Doesn't mean you're going to get in. And even after this, they still stayed there. And another thing, too, I want to tell you, and this is very, very sad. At rallies, they have porta potties and things. They don't have that here. If you want to get out, I don't know where you go. And I don't know about you, but if I'm sitting there and I have to micturate and I can't, I'll leave because I'm not going to soil myself or anybody. But look at this. Look how many people were there. This is what it was about. Not Tulsi's speech or whether Tucker laughed. This is it. And the signs that people brought with them and the hats and the paraphernalia. I will bet you. Have you ever seen a Kamala Harris hat? No. Do you know what her slogan is? No, she doesn't have one. Is there anything? No, I've got more. He's been a merchandising. I've got hats. I've got cups. There is nothing for her. She is unlisted. We're not done yet. This is where this is. This is 31st or whatever it is. This is just still for them waiting to get in. Maybe to see, and we're not done yet. Then we got this group, this faction. This goes all the way. This is you just don't see this for anything, concerts, anything. If you keep going down, you'll go to Little Korea. Keep going. Look at this. Down, down, down. Still. Early in the morning, just sitting there, happy to be there, happy and elated and thrilled just to be there. That is what this is about. Our own Lori Lewis I was there at MSG. Bless your heart. We won a full report. It was like nothing else. You'll never see this. Very C, thank you. Very C, like varicella, which is, I think varicella is chickenpox, isn't it? I think. All right. Now, let's go here. Video file. Let me go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the next one. I don't know what this one is, but let's see what it is. Okay, this is another one. Okay, this. Now, if anybody there noticed, did you notice how the inside the guard, it kind of like when it starts moving, it's like, is this thing going to fall? It starts to vibrate. And it's on like springs or suspensions or something. Have you seen anything? This is that opera thing. This gives you chills. This USA, look at this. I've never seen. And these sick mother farkers, these lefty types, come somehow impugn your integrity and try to belittle your sensibilities by saying that this is Nazi-like. Like this is some kind of a Bund meeting. Crypto says, reminds me of running the Chicago Marathon, 2 million. It's incredible. It's incredible. But thank you. Thank you, dear friend. Unreal. Let us continue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's look for this now. Again, I like this better. I pull one up. I don't know what it is. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. All right. Don't know. Let's see what this is.
Seal the border.
Now, Vivek. Oh, I call him Vic. Great. Why? Not style, not laugh, not speaking pattern, none of that. Everything you're trying to do at the rally is to ignite them, to light a match underneath these people, to light a match under them, to inspire them, to enrage them.
If you want to seal the border, vote Trump. If you want to restore law and order in this country, vote Trump. If you want to grow the economy in this country, vote Trump. If you want to revive national pride in this country, vote Trump. If you want to stay out of World War III in this country, vote Trump. If you want to make America great again, vote Trump. I'm going to give you one more reason to vote Trump, and it's this. It's the one the media in the back, they won't talk about this.
There's always a media.
But they know it to be true.
It's true.
Donald Trump is actually the president who will unite this country, actually. And we don't talk about that enough. America First includes all Americans, regardless of their race, their gender, or their sexual orientation.
That was excellent. Absolutely excellent. Attorney Mark, there we go. Attorney Mark Davis. Thank you so much, Mr. Davis. Counselor, thank you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, Here we go. And these are one of these the production that people come up with is just superb.
When I first came into office, I cut taxes more than any other president. We have created 7 million new jobs, and it led to a growth like we've never seen before. We developed the greatest economy in history by far. When I left office, it changed. Inflation destroyed the lives of so many people. Interest rates went from 2% to 10%. Millions of illegal immigrants, traffickers, and drugs coming into our country. Our country has gone to hell. So I made a decision to run. We're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. I will fight for you with every breath, and I will never let you down.
I'm gonna fight like a G, they all gonna see, and if I die, I'm gonna die free.
Trump is literally putting his life on the line, and he's willing to risk it all because he loves this country.
He is strong, he is fearless, and he is what this country needs right now.
Our cities will be safe, our streets will be clean, and our border will be secure.
We can't allow our country to be destroyed by politicians who will put their own power ahead of the interests of the American people, our freedom, and our future.
The left told me to hate Trump. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger.
So if you love this country, if you want to stand up and fight for the future of our nation, you must re-elect Donald J. Trump.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Excellent. So that's perfect. That's beautiful. By the way, of the Trump family, the best speaker, the smartest one, Eric. They're all good. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Come on, plenty of room for everybody. We're not. This isn't a debating society. Like, oh, you're more time. No. You'll do fine. But remember, this lends itself to the energy. Can you think of anything? Can you think of anything that is similar or seen in the Gamala world? No. Is there anything that they do? Do they ever explain or expatiate or describe or limb or I don't know? Nothing. Hers is just he's bad and she's I don't even know what. There's no slogan. There's no direction. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, I'm digging this. Let's see what else we've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Let's try this. What do we have here?
As a nation.
Oh, this is today. These are, you don't see this. There are, you don't really have Trump go to a speaking engagement and he's yelled at. Have you noticed that? You don't go to anything where he shows up and the crowd yells at him or curses him or boos him. I mean, it might be no. Normally he goes to places where people want to see him, but you really don't see this. Listen to Kamala.
As a nation, we face real challenges. We carry.
Look how they play music. Just keep going. Trump doesn't get this. I believe this is when she told one of the Christian members that he was in the wrong place because he wanted to talk was something about the life or Jesus is Lord. She says, I think you're in the wrong place for that. I may be correct. You know something? Doesn't your skin crawl when you see her? Mine does. I have such utter contempt, not only for what she is, what she appears to be, what she's not. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see what this one was. See if this is any good. This is another one too. Now, I love the way people love to say, well, you know, Elon might be, is he on the spectrum? Would you shut up? Look at him. If he's on the spectrum, let everybody be. Again, this word is overused. If you're a little quiet, if you're a little different, you're on the spectrum. Everybody's on the spectrum. Oh, for the love of God. You want to talk about sheer thrill to be here? This man. It is dark MAGA Gothic. What was that?
All right.
Oh, he didn't explain his hat. I'm sorry. That was not a good one. Sorry about that one. Let me get another one for you here. I know this is so professional, is it not? Yeah. I don't know what this is. Let's see.
Kids are hungry in school.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to show this to you. This will make you sick. This, I wasn't going to show you this, but I'm going to show it to you. Because I don't understand what the hell it is. I don't understand what it is. This is Walls' wife, whatever the hell she's talking about. And she tries to explain, because they called him Tampon Tim a million times a day. She's trying to explain the notion and the sagacity and the necessity of tampons in boys' bathrooms.
You know, if kids are hungry in school, what that does to brain and learning, you're not going to learn to read.
Okay, I'm with that. You got that? Check out this chick on the left. I don't know if she knows where she is, if her camera froze, or I don't know what it is. So if you're hungry, you can't. Okay, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
So if you're talking about learning to read and closing gaps, then you better take away the barriers for that.
Okay, if you want kids, yeah. Okay.
If that's tampons, then
oh wait, what?
That's tampons.
Now wait a minute. One more time.
You know, if kids are hungry in school, what that does to brain and learning, you're not going to learn to read. So if you're talking about learning to read and closing gaps, then you better take away the barriers for that.
Good.
If that's tampons, then that's tampons.
What? Tampons. Do you see what this is about? This is about, what are they talking about? That's what it's about. It's what are these people talking about? It gets worse.
Their own things. They have kind of their.
You're going to love this one. This guy is running. They are losing, and they don't seem to get it.
Has their own things. They have kind of their norms and their customs. But
he's talking about the filibuster, which is the greatest thing. Believe me, you're going to want to wish. You're going to wish that you had that.
In order,
maybe some of those norms. I'm just going to say I don't know where you stand, but I'm guessing you and I are probably the same on the filibuster. But
we got to get rid of that thing.
Okay, remember you said that. See, that's the best. And this is the mindset of who we're talking about. What are these? I'll just give you a few more, just so that you understand the enemy here. Let me see if this is even worth watching. This may make you sick. I have no idea what we're. Oops. No, that's not it. Oh, hang on a minute. I got to get rid of this. Talk amongst yourself. Talk amongst yourself. I had so many of these wonderful little. Each one of them is a tutorial in and of itself, in my humble opinion. Okay, I think it's this one.
A basic question about network integrity.
Well, that was it. I think we already did that one. Okay, enough of that. All right, we've done enough. Now, bottom line is simply this. I know you're afraid. And I know you're afraid. I know. And there was a part of you that says, okay, this is great and everything. But what's going to happen? This is 9 days. Can they steal this? Can she steal this? Am I going to be let down? Are we going to get let down? Could we be let down? And what will be the repercussion? You see all those people that are there? And that's just one city. Well, it's the biggest city, but that's just one area. What do you think these people are going to do if somebody comes along and steals the election? What do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do? Are they going to say, oh, well, better luck next time? That's what scares me. I am telling you right now that barring the... You know, it's funny. This is a terrible analogy, but I'm going to give it to you. And it has a lot to do with your outlook on life. I had a relative years ago who had cancer. And I remember it went into remission. Turns out she was fine and lived a good life. But at the time, the good news is, hey, good news. She's, people were saying we're cured it. And I had a relative who said, well, Technically, they didn't cure it. I said, if you open your mouth, I'm going to stick a pencil in your heart. You know? If you open your mouth, if you say anything like, well, you know, it's true that, you know, technically speaking, it's only good for 5 years, and it depends upon how aggressive. I said, and remember, and before I'm done within your heart, I'm going to do something that you're not going to like with a scallopini hammer and a garlic press, if you even say this. The moral of the story is, and Crypto said, I think the fear left for me today. Thank you. You're right. We can do this all the time, but you're going to miss the ride. You're going to miss. It's like when you're flying in, you've been flying on a plane, fly for a long time, and you're finally about to land, and you're saying, prepare for touchdown, and somebody, right, you know, and I hate when you're about to land and this idiot pulls the thing down. Anyway, but you look and you say, oh, there's France, or there's, you know, the mountains, and oh, look, we're really here. Now, do you really want to talk about all that because, you know, landing and taking off are two of the most dangerous times. Do you really want to talk about that now? Or you're going to miss it? You're going to miss the landing. You're going to miss this. If you spend any amount of time worrying about things, number one, you have no control over, that nobody's asking you about, or that most probably is not ever going to happen. And that is very simply this. We do not know what is going to happen. If they were to steal it in numbers that are too much, we would trust somebody would do something to stop it. Linda loves Tucker and Stephen Miller. Absolutely. Stephen Miller, to me, for purposes of it, stole the show by virtue of what it is. And Tucker was sheer exuberance. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beauteous. Okay? Okay, that being said. But what I want you to understand is you can't let this moment be lost. You can't. This is critical. There is a momentum I have never seen. You will never see this again. You will compare every race to this from now until the end of time. Well, this was pretty good, but you know, it certainly wasn't Trump in 2024. Well, I remember that one. Were you there? Oh, yeah, I remember that one. It was a concatenation of events and things. People who normally would not necessarily find similarities with each other, blacks, gays, Asians, Latinos. I posted this picture, Navajos for Trump. CD says, I remember wishing Tucker talked like that 15 years ago. Well, remember one thing, people change also, CD, and you bring up a good point. Trump said terrible things about certain people, and Tucker said terrible things about Trump. Do you want to spend the rest of your life talking about that? Do you really want to? Let me give you a little bit of advice. This is Uncle Lenny here. Do you hold a grudge? Do you hold a grudge? Let me just ask you a question. Are you one of these people who holds a grudge, who never forgets? Are you one of these people? Somebody does something you wrong, you never forget. You never forget. They're dead as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire. Now, Marissa says, forgive. I'm going to talk about forgiving, but are you one of these people? Sure. Okay, good. Is that a good way to be? Is that a good way to be? Is that smart? Is that smart? For you to hold a grudge, is that smart? First of all, it eats you up, number one, which is nobody's worth it. But here's the deal. If you hold a grudge, remember this, make sure, listen to Uncle Lenny here, make sure that that person cannot hurt you or help you. If somebody can still help you, look the other way and say, screw it. I'm using you. You don't mean anything to me. I don't care what you said. Or, I mean, provided it's not anything, But somebody said something stupid, forget it. Colleen Solange said, thank you for the cutting room performance. Loved it. As mentioned as we walked out, my husband is guarding Trump this evening. Yes. The fireman. Yes. God bless you and your fabulous husband. It was so wonderful meeting you. Yes, he was a fine. I don't want to say his name. Why am I thinking Kevin? Why am I thinking Kevin? Does that make sense? Am I correct? I shouldn't say it. Maybe I'm wrong. No grudges, just that it would make an excellent tuck. Hello to Steve Dreamkiller. Dr. Dreamkiller says, sorry I'm late. I'm a Washington Redskins fan and I just regained consciousness. Hope all is well. Vote Trump. I wish to God I could tell you about being a sports fan, and I really don't. Now, let me tell you something. Mrs. L and I were talking about this, which is very, very good. And this is important. Arizona, by the way, says a grudge holds you, not the other way around, which is true. You're right about that. First, you only have a handful of friends in your life. You only have a handful of friends. You only have people that you just really, and you can make new friends but I had a friend I saw the other night. We started in radio 36 years ago. And we've been the best of friends. And we are most probably politically antipodal. We never talk about it. I've been on his radio show. He said some things that we don't talk about, but I don't care about that. I compartmentalize. Politics, it doesn't really matter unless you're a jerk. But that's it. That's number one. Number two, so you only have a certain amount of friends. Cut and prune away people in your life that do no good for you. People that hurt you, people that annoy you. You don't need these people. Cut them like a prune, like a dead branch. Get rid of them. Amputate them. Pilgrim says, you can't sell anyone unless you love everyone. You can't sell anyone unless you love everyone. Maybe. Laurie Cook says, Christians are instructed to forgive if one's genuinely sorry. Okay. Forgive, I don't know what that means. Forgive? What does that mean? It's okay? No, it's not okay. If you hurt a child no. Forgive? No. The Bible, I don't know what the Bible says. Forgive. What does that mean, forgive? In my mind, it's okay. It's not okay. Yeah, but the Bible says, well, I'm not following this one then. Sorry. But I'm not gonna follow this person and exact revenge on them. But if I want to do it, I don't understand any of that stuff. But here's the deal. I'm like this. Whatever. Do I forgive them? No. They're irrelevant to me. They're dead to me. They're dead. They are dead to me. They are dead to me. One time my father did stuff. He used to do this thing, the Sicilian thing, go like that. The cross, go, that's it. And one time he had some beef we had a relative, and he wanted to emphasize the fact that she was kind of like dead to him. And he had this thing that said, to be open in the event of my death. And he dropped it on our desk one time, and he says, do you want to open it or do I? I mean, it's a meaning because you're dead. I thought that was great. So if I'm Tucker Carlson, and I'm going to tell President Trump, listen, Tucker said some bad things about you. Don't forgive him. I don't care. Don't forget. Just don't react. You need him. When you're done needing him, then you can do whatever you want. But if you still need somebody, not yet. Some people think, well, it's, putting up with stuff. No, it's using people. If you hate your boss, yeah, he's your boss. What are you going to do? You're going to get fired for this? No. You work them. You use them. You're in control. You're the marionette. They're the puppet. You're telling them what to do. Yeah, I think whatever you want. Okay, yeah, hey, okay, sure, yeah, okay. Whatever. Don't worry about it. I don't understand this. You don't have to like people, love people, but this idea about, I'm going to hold a grudge. If they can still help you, do everything in your power to utilize and to manipulate and exploit every possible thing there is. So the very fact that Tucker said something one time, who cares? It's beautiful. They love it. This is the man. Another thing, stop telling me. Stop telling me how you don't understand why people would ever vote for her. Who cares? I don't care. Lori Cook says you got to cut people some slack because we all screw up. Learn from it. Oh, you can cut. You can. Yeah, you can do that. I'll just either never have anything to do with you or deal with you until I don't need you anymore. And then I don't have anything to do with you. So whatever. You're human. I don't have to. Jesus never said anything about like, oh, and still keep talking to them. No. Now listen, you're taking this thing a little too far. Pilgrim says, ergo, people can spot insincerity. Cow pies. Yes. Also, it's a very good point. Let me not lose this point. I started off with, don't ask, are we going to lose it? And miss the beauty of this. That's number one. Number two, these are human beings. This is an inexact science. The next thing to understand is that I don't know why people want to vote for Kamala. I don't know. Crypto says, I was ever fearful of the unknown, now more. It's not the unknown that you're fearful of. You got to ask yourself, a fear of trepidatious. It's you normally do know the known because you have to, for example, death. You're familiar with that. You're just not sure if that's death or not. So it's not really the unknown. You don't know whether you're going to die, but you are not unsure of what death is. Death, you're just not sure if it's going to happen now. That's the unknown. It's different. It's kind of a weird thing about that. I don't know anything about why people. I do not understand how anybody would stand for 15 hours to maybe get into Madison Square Garden. God bless these people. Me, never. Never. I can't think of anybody. If you said Jesus Christ at the garden, really? That might be something. Short of that, no. The Beatles, no. Let me tell you something else. Can I really level with you on this one? And this is me. This isn't you. And I don't want you to be like me, but this is me. And I'm going to be honest with you. Or as my friend says one time, I'm going to be as honest as I possibly can be. I wouldn't want to be in the VIP section at the garden because there's nobody who is a VIP where I would want to meet, where I would want to say, oh, hi, are you whatever? Oh, yeah, Vivek, can I get a picture with you? No. Laurie says, if it's legally stolen again, personally, I'm done working within the law. Now, what would Jesus say about that? I think I know what you're saying. I cannot go and sit there and kiss somebody and say, oh, are you Alina Haba? Can I get a picture? Never. I would rather cut off a limb. Now, if somebody said, and I've done this before, George Jones. my picture with E.O. Wilson, the famous entomologist, the book on ants. Oh, I went crazy. Mrs. L said, "Who is it?" I go, "Who is that?" And I had to get the selfie. My camera wasn't working, and this guy was so nice to me. That's it, because that is a god. But me, I'm supposed to say, "Can I get a picture of Lara Trump?" Are you kidding me? No. I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass. Who the hell's Lara Trump? You work for me. President Trump, different story. Different story. That's one. Because that's just, history. That's a president. I had a picture with Bill Clinton, too. Big deal. But I can't do that. I will never. Look at this. See Lori just like that. So aside from that, I think we're going to win. Unless, of course, something changes and look, we're going to land in the plane. Unless the wheels fall off. Yeah, okay. But they're not going to fall off. They don't fall off. And I don't know what's going to happen when. And I don't know when they're going to do next time. And I don't know why they picked Kamala Harris. And I don't understand any of this stuff. I don't know. I don't know why she does it. I never got that thing about you with her voice. I'm tired of this. I get really sick when I hear her. What would you ask her if you could sit down with her? What would you really ask her? Let's say you could listen. I'll give you 5 minutes, and you can ask her anything, not personal, but about about the election, and she has to talk to you. What would you ask her? What would you ask her? I would ask her kind of a leading question. I would say, "You don't really want this, do you? Be honest. You're going to be so relieved when this is over because you really don't know what it is. You do not know what it's like to be stuck in the White House for 4 years. You're not going to do press conferences. Trump did them all the time. And then they got stupid, and he finally had to give it to Kayleigh McEnany. You think she's going to leave Fox to go do that again? I don't know. I told you, but I would say, you really don't want to do this, do you? No. What hurts you the most about this? What hurts you? Oh, you would want to be mean to her. Oh, no. Oh, no. I would love to talk to her. This is look at this. Linda says, "I'm a retired nurse, looked after famous people. They were a body to look at after. That's all." Oh, that's very true. It's very interesting. Lori Cuck said, "Which McDonald's did you work at?" Oh, you don't want to work at. She probably would tell you, "I didn't work at." I know. But I'm going to go more of that. See, I'm telling you this. I know you're not going to agree with me. But the one I want to talk to the most is Hillary Clinton, because I want to say, Hillary, it's like, what does it feel like? You always wanted to be, you were going to be the star. Yes, I was. You were the smartest, the brightest. You were going to be the first president. And then you started right around that Watergate thing that really found out that her character was off. Her character was off. She was remember, who was it? Somebody in there, they said they kicked her off the committee because she was a liar. Bill had a problem with women because of his mother. Mothers, be very careful with how your sons remember this. It's a very interesting balancing act. Love them. And pray to God you're not depriving them of some love mineral. But with Kamala, I would say, what hurts you the most? That you're stupid? Or you're insincere? Or you're whatever it is? Do you know who you are really? And she probably tell you not really. If she sat down with you, we can give her some kind of a sodium pentothal. By the way, sodium pentothal doesn't work because what it does is it just knocks you out. It doesn't, there's no truth portion of it. If you want to get somebody, you want to give them a few drinks until they get past. But right when you loosen up, people will tell you. And also sleep deprivation is a great source of great way of getting the truth. Crypto says, we all witnessed the height of the Kamala. Well, but I would say she would probably say to you, I never really wanted this. I never thought they would take me up on this. I kind of wanted this. It was a thing to do. It was very heady. You know, I enjoyed limited government. I mean, I was the DA, and then I was the AG, and then I was a senator. But I really didn't do anything. I had a staff. I had people to cover for me. And yeah, I made some speeches, but not that many. And like one, and I kind of liked it. And it was kind of groovy, and you know. But I never had any idea of how tough this was. She went from that to maybe vice president, where you didn't do anything, to this. And I would have loved to have said, could you have worked with her? Absolutely. She would have been very upset, but I would have had to have told her, this is how we're going to do this. Let me explain to you how we're going to do this. I'm going to give you some ways to answer a question. And we're going to do this. And because she's not stupid. She's just not very good at this. Her whole thing is superficial. This is the girl who always tried to seduce men. The laugh, the giggle. Oh, you're so funny. Or you're so smart. You ever seen that? Ladies, you ever seen this? You ever seen somebody? You might be one yourself. Probably not. But you know, friends of yours who said they call them flirtatious. They try to build up men's egos and self-esteem by laughing. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, you're so sexy. Oh, you're big, strong. Oh, bullshit. And they laugh. They laugh and they giggle and that's who she is. She's like the woman who's trying to size up, find the next Willie, the next guy. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really interesting. And I find it more fascinating. I think now is kind of sad, but it's interesting how they're trying everything in their power. They're throwing out Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama doesn't matter anymore. Michelle Obama is gone. People don't remember, well, what does Michelle Obama mean? There's a lot of young people who don't know who Jon Stewart is. You have to always remember something. Remember, you're always reintroducing yourself to somebody. No matter what you do, you're always reintroducing. You're always, every single day, unless you're always trying to say, this is who I am. I don't know. There are people who don't know who Barack Obama is. Oh, that's that cool. Oh, he was the president. Okay. They always drag him out to say, talk to the black people. Okay. I would love to tell Barack, why don't you ever want to talk to white people? If I'm going to sell something, bring out Barack Obama. He'd be good. Hey, Barry, you got good news. I want you to sell something. Black people? No. This is about the investment tax credits. Really? Okay, thanks. You can do that. It's like, we got a black person. Bring out the black guy. What is it, Barry? Hey, talk to these black people. It's a black thing. You're black. It's all you black. Michelle, can you talk to these black people too? Yeah, it's a black thing. You know how tiring that must be for them? It's like, is there anything else? No, Michelle, you don't care about, and we're throwing you a bone for the black thing. That's the way these people think. They're the most racist folks in the world. Pilgrim Media said, put some Amish people in the White House. You have no idea how much I want to. I've never been to Amish country. That's my next thing I want to do. I would do a couple of things. One day we do a day trip. I want to go to the Martin Guitar Factory in Nazareth, PA, and then I want to go to the Amish. Pennsylvania's an interesting place. Interesting. Everybody's got their little things. But I don't want to get off the topic. I want to go back to that one. Now, if you talk to President Trump, he would be the most fascinating. Because you know what? I will bet that there is no part of him that's that thing that, I always wanted to do this because of my father's love. And it might have been important, but I don't think he has this, he was like born immune to poisonous snakes. He has an anti-venom. Things that would normally get you upset doesn't bother him. Cheers from Coral Springs. Love you all. Thanks, Lionel Nation. God bless you, my friends. Thank you, CD. Just one more thing, and then we'll go. I don't think there is that, he has that sensitivity part of him that's motivated by some. A lot of people do, not him. And that's his secret. Not that he's cold, not that he's human, and not that he's incapable of affection. No. I just think I think he is a very, very, it's very encrusted the soul part. And it is not subject to being pierced, and it's not subject to being poisoned. I think he's built with an anti-venom in him. We'll get to that one later. Some other time, perhaps. Oh my God, it's 10 o'clock. Where has the time gone? Thank you so much. CD Crypto, thank you. Pilgrim, thank you so much. Lori Cuck, thank you so much. Asking for forgiveness. I appreciate that. Hang on. Arizona, thank you. Dr. Dreamkiller, thank you as well. Kayleen Solange, say hello to hubby. Thank you so much. Linda Hazlitt, thank you. Mark Davis, attorney. Very C. Lori Lewis. Asunta Madonna. Just Rhonda, thank you. Moorman, thank you, my good friend. Let me see. Linda Hazlitt, yes. Insidious. Johnny Madison. CR, thank you, darling, for your kindness. Gerald Armstrong, thank you as well. Steph or Steve Com, thank you, my friend, for your beneficence indeed. And that should be it. All right, dear friends, we will see you tomorrow. Have a great and glorious time. It was indeed, this was one of my favorite evenings speaking with you on a variety of topics for a variety of reasons. Okay? And I mean that. All right, dear friends, have a great night. Please sleep tight. See you in the morning. Don't forget, preparewithlionel.com. Also, Lynn's Warriors. Sign up, follow, and subscribe. And until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Da-da.